In the Middle East, the distance between peace and war is measured not in miles, but in minutes. Today, that clock is ticking faster than ever. China's direct upgrade of Iran's weapons systems has shifted the balance of power, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is now facing one of the gravest security crises in decades. China's direct involvement in upgrading Iran's military capabilities marks a dangerous escalation in the region's power dynamics. The assistance reportedly includes advanced missile guidance systems capable of improving strike precision, extended-range ballistic missile technology, and next-generation drone platforms equipped for both surveillance and offensive operations. Cyber warfare tools are also part of the package, giving Iran the ability to disrupt communications, disable defense networks, and conduct information warfare at a scale previously beyond its reach. These enhancements transform Iran's arsenal from a largely deterrent force into a credible, precision strike threat, altering the military balance between Tehran and Jerusalem. By providing these upgrades, Beijing is not only boosting Iran's military power, but also sending a clear geopolitical signal that it is willing to directly counter U.S. influence and shape conflict outcomes in one of the world's most volatile regions. This development compresses Israel's reaction time in the event of an attack, potentially reducing the window for interception from minutes to seconds. For Israel, the emergence of a more advanced Iranian arsenal creates a profound shift in its security landscape. The Iron Dome and other missile defense systems, long considered some of the most effective in the world, were designed to counter rockets with relatively predictable trajectories and limited guidance. With China's technological upgrades, Iran's missiles can now maneuver mid-flight, evade interception patterns, and strike with far greater accuracy. This means that strategic assets, air bases, command centers, and even desalination plants critical to Israel's water supply are at increased risk. Civilian areas, too, face heightened danger, as improved targeting reduces the margin for error that once served as a buffer for population centers. Israel's defensive doctrine, which relies heavily on layered interception systems, may need to be recalibrated to counter these evolving threats. The strategic calculus changes from merely stopping incoming fire to preventing its launch altogether, pushing Israel toward more aggressive intelligence operations and potential preemptive strikes. Netanyahu now finds himself at the intersection of intense domestic expectations and the unforgiving realities of geopolitics. The Israeli public, already accustomed to living under the shadow of regional threats, is demanding a decisive and visible response to Iran's newfound capabilities. Yet, any direct military action risks igniting a conflict that could rapidly spiral beyond Israel's borders, drawing in Hezbollah from Lebanon, militias in Syria and Iraq, and potentially sparking wider hostilities across the Gulf. At the same time, Israel's military planners must contend with the possibility that striking Iranian assets could provoke cyber retaliation or missile salvos overwhelming their defenses. Politically, Netanyahu is under pressure from both allies and rivals within the Knesset, some urging restraint to avoid isolating Israel diplomatically, others calling for a forceful demonstration of strength to deter future aggression. His choices are further complicated by the necessity of maintaining strong ties with Washington while navigating the risk of alienating key partners if Israel acts unilaterally. Each path he considers carries severe consequences, and the margin for error has never been smaller. China's decision to enhance Iran's military strength reverberates far beyond the Middle East, signaling a deliberate alignment that challenges the established global order. By deepening ties with Tehran, Beijing strengthens a growing strategic triangle with Russia, creating a counterweight to U.S. influence not only in the region but on the world stage. This alignment offers Iran advanced technology, economic partnerships insulated from Western sanctions, and political backing in international forums, effectively shielding it from some of the diplomatic isolation it has faced for years. For Washington and its NATO allies, the development is a wake-up call. The competition with China is no longer confined to the Indo-Pacific, but has firmly entered the Middle East, where critical energy routes, trade corridors, and security alliances are at stake. The move also complicates U.S.-brokered normalization efforts between Israel and Arab states, as those nations may be forced to reconsider their positions in light of Beijing's growing influence. In essence, the transfer of military technology to Iran is not just a regional provocation. It's a strategic maneuver in a global contest for power and influence. Israel now stands at a crossroads where every potential course of action carries significant risk and far-reaching consequences. A covert approach, such as targeted sabotage of Iran's weapons development, cyber infiltration to disable key systems, or intelligence-led disruption of supply chains, offers the advantage of plausible deniability but may only delay, not eliminate, the threat. Diplomatic channels, including pressure through the United States, European allies, and regional partners like the UAE and Saudi Arabia, could buy time but are unlikely to reverse China's involvement or Iran's ambitions. The most drastic option, a preemptive military strike, could neutralize some of Iran's upgraded capabilities but would almost certainly trigger a swift and powerful retaliation, potentially opening multiple fronts from Lebanon to Gaza. Netanyahu's government must also account for the economic and political aftershocks such a decision could produce, both domestically and internationally. The window for measured, calculated moves is narrowing, and each passing week allows Iran to integrate and deploy its new systems more fully, making the eventual confrontation, whether overt or shadowed, both more probable and more perilous. The Middle East has always been a chessboard of shifting alliances and sudden gambits. But today, the pieces are moving faster, and the stakes are higher than ever. China's arming of Iran has not just tilted the board, it has changed the game entirely. For Netanyahu and Israel, the challenge is not simply to respond, but to respond wisely, decisively, and before the moment for action slips away. Because in this new era of great power competition and regional brinkmanship, hesitation is not just dangerous, it can be fatal. Asterisk.